back once again to the Education Points YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about a frequently asked question, which is I have a lot of people reaching out to me wanting to know if it's possible to pursue a tech career without necessarily coding. And because it's something that I've seen over and over again, I decided to address it in this video. So please do well to hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification. Now, to answer the question, of course, the answer is yes. You can pursue a tech career without knowing how to code. Coding is just an aspect of tech. It's not the entirety of tech. So I know a lot of people shy away from getting into tech because they feel they don't like coding. I can't do coding, so what else is there for me in tech? Permit me to let you know that there are a lot you can do in tech. In fact, tech companies don't thrive on software engineering alone. I mean, if it's just software engineers, there would really have been nothing like tech companies. What makes a tech company is a group of other varying professions, other varying careers, all in tech as well, to ensure that a product or a company really thrives. So the first role or the first career path I'll be mentioning in this video is product management. You might have heard about it sometime or you haven't, but I'm just going to give a very brief overview of what product managers do based on my own understanding. I am not a product manager, but a product manager in a nutshell are the people, or product managers are the people whose role is to identify what business needs exist for a business and also determine what success should look like for a particular product. So before the software engineers start, punching in their codes, and the designers get to start designing their interface and whatever it is they want to do, the product managers are the ones who understand what particular thing do people need in this product and where exactly would we get to in this product and decide that it's successful or it's a failure. Their job is to ensure that a product, as the name implies, is well managed, right? They ensure that the product is passes through its various development stages and gets to its completion in due time. Of course, they ensure that the timeline is also met, the timeline is actually followed, and the product is not just being built for as long as it takes. That's one. Then the number two career path, you just heard me mention about designers. So before you have your software ready for use, you have your Google apps, you have your Facebook apps, there are people whose role is actually to design these interfaces you scroll through, the different pages you get to see when you open a software. It wasn't just coded immediately. Some people designed it. The UI UX people, which is the user interface / user experience design people. I know these two terms are usually used together though, but you have to understand that UI and UX are actually two different things. I'm going to be explaining that. So most times one person can be the two things, but then you have to understand that they are actually two different things. You can decide to be a UI person and you can also decide to be a UX person. You can also decide to be both, right? User experience have to do with the people who make the research. Why do you think the back button is by the right and not by the left? It was researched by a group of people. They check out how users interact with the product, what the experience looks like for the users of a product, and they get these researches. They have different methodologies for carrying out their researches. They use these tools and these methods to decide on how the feel of the software is going to be. And then after they have done their path, they move it to the user interface designers, who are the ones who bring out the aftermath of the research to life. So if you've researched and you find out that people don't want to have 3 pages to meet before checking out, they want to just have everything on one page and then they go ahead and check out. This is just an instance, right? After this research, they move it onto the UI people, that user interface, and they go ahead and design the interfaces of those products. So before the software engineer starts doing the whole coding and every other thing, this is the design team of a company. So you don't need to know how to code before you can be a user experience researcher or designer or a user interface designer. Some people also call these people product designers. So you can choose what you want to call it. This is the second aspect of coding that does not require this is the second aspect of tech that does not require coding. The third career I'm going to be mentioning is community management. This is like my field. So prior to this time, community management wasn't like a thing. It wasn't a thing like that because people didn't build with the community per se. We used social media to share about products and all. But with time, companies are beginning to realize the need to build with the community. They need to get feedback from the community. They need to give people a sense of belonging while building a product. And that is where community managers, some companies call them community advocates, it's all the same thing, they come in here. So a community manager's role can differ from company to company, but at the center of what community managers do is interacting with the community, who are the users of the product, or even just people who are not users of the product. People can be your community without using what you do, right? But the most important thing is that these people are out there interacting with these people, getting to know how they feel about the product, getting to understand how they use the product, getting feedback from them, even helping them use the product itself, because some people can, you know, come across a product and they don't really know everything about it. So the community managers can, you know, to carry this out by both organizing events, you know, creating groups for these people to join and get trained, you know, like managing Slack communities, managing Discord communities, like even speaking at events, all geared at interacting with the community and getting to know their pain points and helping them solve problems. So community managers are different from social media managers. Sometimes the social media manager's role can just kind of be limited towards social media, but a community manager's role can be anywhere. Their job is just to identify wherever it is the community meets, find them there and interact with them. So it could be on Slack, it could be on Discord, it could be on Twitter, it could be on Facebook, it could be on Clubhouse. Anywhere the community members always stay together, that is where you find a community manager. The fourth and the last career path I'm going to be mentioning in this video is technical writing. I have a lot of people who reach out to me concerning technical writing, and I usually try to let them know that technical writing is different from content writing. The fact that you know how to write does not suffice for being a technical writer, because as the name implies, it's technical writing, and some companies would want you to write API documentation. They could want you to write documentation about a product. They could even involve you writing tutorials, writing small code snippets on a particular product or a particular programming language. Of course, as a technical writer, you don't need to know everything about coding. You don't need to be an expert software engineer, but then you should have the ability to learn fast and pick up details very fast, because the way a teacher learns is not the way someone who just wants to implement and go learns. Because as a technical writer, you have an audience that you're going to be teaching through writing, so you need to learn even to the very minute details, because you need to explain these things in your article. So technical writing, in as much as it doesn't involve coding corely, you need to have a little knowledge of coding for you to at least get started in that field, because you can't put yourself in a box, being that you don't know what the company you're going to be joining would expect from you. But just bear it at the back of your mind that as long as it involves technical writing, there is technical in there, and it could involve coding, it could involve a couple of programming concepts. So at least get started with coding a little bit, then you can venture into technical writing. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any question, please go ahead and use the comment section. I'll be reading through and replying. Thank you so much for watching. See you in our next video. Bye.